Hey everyone, welcome to Plot Twist. I am your host, Danny Thomas.
And I'm your co-host, Luis Castillo.
And today we are talking all things Camp Rock 3 as it's coming out in a couple days from now from us recording this. We want to give our predictions. I also wanted to give an update on all the personal stuff I addressed at the beginning of last episode. Um, and then we are going to talk about Ariana Grande's latest album, everything going on with her health, and her recent announcement of taking a hiatus. And also, we have some Miley Cyrus pop culture as well. Um, and then also, I just got done reading a book, so I wanted to talk about that. And then, obviously, we're going to discuss what we've been binging. So, yeah, there was no episode last week because, as I addressed at the beginning of episode 4, a lot of personal stuff was going on with with my family. We're in the middle of a lawsuit and stuff. And I did say that I was going to go up and testify. Well, I didn't know that they wanted me to testify like ASAP. So I ended up doing it over Zoom, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we will hear about the outcome of it on Thursday. So
How,
yeah,
how did you feel testifying? How was that?
a weight lifted off my shoulders because it's been 8 years. I was 14. I'm 22 now. Like it's been a long time. So as soon as I was done doing that, the lawyer called me and told me I did a really good job. And then my mom had testified right before me. He said the same thing about her. He said that if I didn't sell the jury, my mom sure did because she did a hell of a testimony. So
Yeah,
yeah, my grandma's testifying tomorrow, and then we will figure out the outcome of it.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that. 8 years, almost 10 years of going through that. And
Yeah.
you know, yeah. And like the thing that bothers me from what you told me and from what my sister has told me, because she's getting into the medical field. And one of the things that, I mean, we all kind of knew this from watching, Grey's Anatomy and reading, is that, I mean, what do you expect? We're living in a capitalist like
And also,
country.
doctors do not give a fuck about elderly
Mm-mm.
patients.
And they're doing this for.
It's so
Mm-mm.
frustrating.
Yeah, it is. And I was gonna say they're doing it for the money. This all
They
comes
are.
down for the money. That's why a
And
lawsuit like this is like. I
yeah,
hope it makes a trademark that not that even though they're doing this for the money, that when you're in care, when you're working with people, and yes, especially like in the medical field, you're not, and that you're up against a lawsuit, and your intentions are because of money, and there was a lot of malpractice. Expect
oh,
to
a
lose.
lot. And I want to talk about
Yeah.
everything that happened, like everything we found out in the middle of this lawsuit, like what the doctors are trying to say.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know if I told you all of this off camera, but once I figure out the outcome, I want to like do. I know this is a pop culture podcast, but it is affecting my life, so I do want to talk about it.
It done.
Um, because it's astounding. Like you only hear about this stuff in the movies, like how people don't like to cut, they want to cover their own ass, so they come up with all these lies, and it's like it's really outrageous. Like,
And a lot of the shows we watched do dealt with this.
yeah, but again, you think it's. I mean, sometimes you forget that it can happen in real life, because it's so
Yeah.
outrageous and infuriating. But yeah, so that's why there was an episode last week. Hopefully, we can get back to a weekly show. I barely recorded for my own project because of everything, so it's just yeah. Hopefully, like now that like I've testified, I have a like I said, I have a weight lift off my shoulder. I'm able to focus on stuff I'm been doing. So we should get back. I mean, we're gonna record twice this week to make up for it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's everything. Like I said, I actually I might talk about it next episode because I said we're recording on Saturday. Just let you guys know. Obviously, you guys aren't going to get two in a row. We did talk about doing that, but I kind of want to have a couple batched episodes so that we don't have this happen again, hopefully. But
Yeah.
I should be able to talk about it, like everything, in the next episode, hopefully. Because my grandma's testifying tomorrow, and that's the last testimony we need. My Mima's daughter, she's the one that's suing. Um, yeah, I want to have some. I want this to be the beginning of change. I've thought about trying to get a law passed in my Mima's honor. I'll look into see how that, like a bill. Because I'm tired. This is not the first time I've gotten frustrated over the medical care system failing an elderly patient because of their views on like, oh, you're gonna die anyways. You know what I mean? It's so.
Yeah.
She was only in the hospital for 13 days. She had the surgery July 23rd, 2018. The only reason why I remember that is because I remember the day after, because Demi Lovato OD'd on the 24th. I remember telling her about
Oh,
this. Like we were talking about it. Like she was alert. She was like catching what I was saying. And then she started declining on July 31st, and then she passed on August 4th. So just a lot.
But this is the reason why I, when my grandma had dementia, we had an open mind about it, for obvious reasons. But this is why and thank God we didn't have to resort to it, did not want to put her in a home or anything. And you know what? Okay, I get COVID, but,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so glad that the hospital here, well, it's not here, it was the one in Monterey, but still, they were reluctant, even though we had to literally, it took a meltdown to have my mom go in there with her because we did not want her just like in a hospital and in a facility
Yeah,
because people don't look at patients as loved ones. They don't. They, and that's why we had to go to doctors with my grandma because they do not, they just look at her as another asset. They don't even look at her as a human being. And we've seen a lot of stories of malpractice with centers, facilities, and hospitals. So I'm glad that
exactly.
this trial has taken place as an example of that. But I'm sorry, continue.
No, I think that's it. Like I said, we'll talk about it again next episode. Hopefully, we'll see. I hope it's good news because, yeah, let's just say that the day my Mima died, my Nana died as well. Like the person she is now is not how she was 8 years ago. Losing her mom completely, like, destroyed her. She's not the same anymore. Um, so I hope this little bit of closure, if it is a positive, will help heal her in some way. So yeah,
I was gonna say, how's she feeling with the trial?
she's a mess. I don't talk to her. Like I said, after my Mima passed away, she kind of made it difficult for a lot of people to keep relationships with her. So, um, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, on a positive note, we found out shortly after we got done recording episode 4 that Miley Cyrus finally left Sony in the dust and is now signed to Atlantic Records, which I mean, they're not always the best record label either,
I
because
was gonna say, I know how I feel about that.
because was it Atlantic or is it? I think it was because they said Charlie XCX was signed to them, and that's Atlantic. Because Fozia, if you guys know who that is, she's an artist I'm reacting to. They made it difficult for her to record her debut album, so now she's independent. Kelly was a part of them as well; she's independent. But we'll see how they treat them Miley, because you never know. They seem to treat Charlie XCX well. Her marketing for all the albums are phenomenal. Like she's probably,
Yeah.
in terms of like artists with good marketing, her, Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter is a good marketing artist as well. Same with Olivia, but we'll see how it is. But she's also been Easter egging for a new album, and
Yeah.
I've heard rumors it's in the same vein as like Plastic Hearts, or even going as far back as Breakout. I don't know how true that is, but
Ooh,
we'll see. Because Fly on the Wall, one of my favorite Miley Disney era
mine
songs.
too.
So, yeah. What are your thoughts on
And
that? Like,
wait, what?
so what are your thoughts on her signing? Because for a while it did,
Well,
because RCA didn't handle her well either, and then she moved to another subsidiary of Sony, being Columbia, and I feel like they fell flat as well. Because a lot of people, I didn't know this, but a lot of people are still finding out about Something Beautiful. Like it didn't come out a year ago. So, yeah.
well, I was gonna, you kind of were about to you actually hit the nail on the head about Atlantic. Um, I mean, Atlantic is part of Warner Brothers, and given the fact that BB Rexa is going independent, I mean, that's a huge telling of what they are, not just as a
Mm-hmm.
music label, but this is gonna sound a little bit off topic, but Warner Brothers, the company in general, is making some really sketchy moves. I mean, the fact that they were bought out by Paramount, that to me says a lot because Paramount, a full out CBS, full out MAGA company. So, I mean, I think it's self-explanatory who they are, and uh given the roster of artists that are going independent from Warner Brother, and how, CBS merged with Trump's Skydance company. Again, that's telling you kind of where they stand and what are they. How I'm curious to see how it's just gonna go. Honestly, um, the I don't know how long Miley's gonna last with Atlantic. What is her deal? Did they say like what is her album deal? Is it like in an
I have no
overall?
idea.
See, that's
But
what I
I will
wanted.
say though, Madonna's been with them since 1983. Warner.
Yeah.
She had a subsidiary, I don't know how to say that word. She had her own label within them for a very long time, Maverick Records, but then it closed. So she's just back to
Okay.
Warner again. But then again, Madonna's like a legacy artist at this point, so
Yeah. See, that's
I don't know.
yeah. But like how you mentioned Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo, they're under Universal Music. And
Yeah.
despite what I think about NB, they're pretty good. They're a pretty good label, especially
Mm-hmm.
Republic Records. They're real. They care about the artists. They look at their artists as artists, not as money making machines.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that
Plus, like I think
and
a
I
majority
wanna
of our favorites are signed to them.
yeah
Conan, Ari,
yes
Taylor. I think Sabrina. No, Sabrina's is she Island? I don't know which.
it's Universal.
Okay, I don't know. I get confused because I didn't know that
I think
Columbia
it's
and
Universal.
RCA are both signed to Sony until a couple years ago, so I get confused between all of that.
Yeah, no, I believe it's Universal.
And then
I,
Halsey is used to be signed to them, I think, and now she's signed to Columbia, which we all know what's going on with her.
that's
So
yeah, that's why I was like, she should have either stuck with Universal or just gone independent,
yeah,
given what's going on
some
with.
artists sadly don't have the caliber to do that, though. I wish they
Mm,
all did, but
they
I feel
did.
like Miley at this point could do it,
Yeah, same here.
but I feel like Halsey could too, but I don't know. From what I've heard, she has multiple albums already fully done, and they're just not letting her release it, which is so fucking stupid.
Exactly. hmm So yeah, that's why. Oh, Hillary Duff is also Atlantic, I believe, but I think hers
Yes.
is a 3 year album.
No, it's a multiple album. I don't know if it's specific down to the year. And I know Paramore used to be signed to them.
I
They had a
mean, not
20
3 year,
year.
3 album deal or
Yeah,
something.
and then Paramore had a 20 year deal. They didn't have a specific album number. They just had a 20-year deal, which I didn't know you can go for that
Yeah.
long. No, actually I did, because Taylor's was 13 years. So, um,
Oh God, yeah.
which is crazy
I
that that's now her favorite number when that 13-year deal like basically ruined her life for a little bit. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Because yeah, the Big Machine. That honestly, I feel like, given what I heard, one of the worst labels.
Oh,
What
Big
I'm
Machine,
sorry.
yeah. It's Big
Yeah,
Machine, Columbia, because that was Mariah's original label, and we all know what happened to her in that label.
yeah.
Um, and I believe we all know MJ was a part of Sony because he had that big war over his masters.
Oh
Remember that?
yeah.
Because
Yes.
he owned major artists' masters, and people wanted that. He bought a lot of artists like publishings and stuff. I think he owned the Beatles, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah.
There was a time when there was a joke like, "Oh, piss off Michael Jackson, he'll just buy your masters."
Oh yeah. Oh, that
um,
explains. There was a TikTok joke that said that about Taylor when she released like the first Fearless Taylor's version. They're like, watch how she'll buy it.
which
She did
doesn't
not
make
sue
sense.
Olivia Rodrigo. Let me get that straight.
Mm-mm.
I'm still trying to figure out what the hell that was because that does not seem out of character for Taylor. But yeah, I'm excited for the new album. I just like I don't know, with record labels, I have this like bittersweet type of thing because it's like they don't respect artists nor their fan bases,
I mean, look
and
at Kesha. Kesha is a prime example of how
yeah,
record labels screw people over.
exactly. And they see, the thing with being a pop star. Well, the thing with pop star, the name pop star is now artist. Like they're not because the
No,
thing is
because not everyone is singing pop music.
it's that, and then they write their own music,
Yeah,
and a lot of artists wrote.
pop star is like a manufactured term.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of labels are real, like their purpose growing up, like I can say growing up like in the 2000s, they like to manufacture their artists. A lot of artists, I mean, hell, something you shared to me that I'm gonna Britney, she's leaving the music industry, and as she should, because a lot of songs like she didn't that I've hear, they don't sound like something she would write.
Actually, there's a lot of songs you'd be surprised she helped write. All of Glory, which is probably why that's my favorite album of hers.
Yeah.
She wrote a lot on Britney Jean. which is another one of my favorite albums of hers.
Yes.
In fact, she's not technically fully done. She's still a ghostwriter in the industry. I don't know if you know that. She's just done
Yeah.
singing because
Yeah.
I think once you go through it, she went through it. All the joy is gone probably from being in the
Exactly,
music
because
industry.
they try to manufacture her like that. And that's why
I mean, The
like
Voice, for
and like
instance, like that's not how
yeah.
she really sang. If you like watch her Star Search performance, she can really sing. Like she was like
Yeah.
probably up there with Christina Aguilera because she did a little growl in her performance. I'm like, why wouldn't she
Yeah.
do that? They made her do that baby voice, which again, I don't think she'd be as popular without that voice. Let's be honest, but maybe if she was allowed to like let her normal voice shine every once in a while as well, I don't know. But yeah,
Well, that's why, and I know we keep referencing Taylor, not just because we're Swifties, but because she wrote and created her own music. She did not
mm-hmm.
sing anything she didn't write. That's actually why she walked away with RCA Records, thank God, in 2004, because they blatantly refused to let her write her own songs.
Which is so fucking stupid.
It is.
But yet she got a number one literally with her first album off of our song. So, which is another
Yeah.
song that they were like, because she was like, can I release this as a single? And they're like, why? It's like, oh, my friends like it. She's like, why are you gonna let your friends judge what they like? And then it goes out, and then it goes number one. That was her first number one song. So,
Yep.
you know, serves them right.
Yeah.
So another thing that happened since we recorded episode 4 was Ariana Grande released her 8th studio album titled Petal. What are your thoughts on it before I give my thoughts?
I like it. Shoot, I have to find the thing, but it's 6 and 6, meaning 6 songs are my favorite. Of course, the Hate That I Made You Love Me, Petal, and I think track 7 to start with. But I love it. It like we agree, like this is like dangerous for me anyway. It's Dangerous Woman slash what was that other
Positions.
album? Positions, and hell, even a little bit of my everything, like an updated version of my everything.
Exactly. And a little bit of obviously
Uh,
Eternal Sunshine in terms of the way it's written.
yeah,
Like and to be honest, this is her speak now as well because I found out she wrote everything by herself. Like all the songs were
yeah.
written by herself, and then she only worked with 2 people to produce them. Ilya, who we all know, he's worked with her on all kinds of projects, and then Max came in on "Hate That I Made You Love Me," "Petal," and then a few other songs. But she wrote this in 4 months, from January to
Max
April.
Max is in Max Martin.
Yeah, obviously. There's no
Oh,
other
okay.
way.
Well, I wasn't sure. Well, maybe Max the other, but yeah, I just thought I'd make sure.
But this album is definitely one of my favorites. Definitely, if you listen to the lyrics, she's basically telling all the haters to fuck off and kick rocks.
Yeah.
But also, there's another thing I want to bring up that we need to talk about, and this is where I'm going to segue into this other topic. It's also a cry for help. If you listen to the lyrics on a lot of the songs, it is a cry for help. I've had my own. I mean, we've talked about this. I have not wanted to really get in on it, but if you can see an entire person's chest plate and the definitions of the skeleton, the bones on her chest, and then her shoulder blades pointing up, and like that's not normal. I remember like that's been a conversation since 2023 where people were like, she's getting like every year it seems like she's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I don't ever comment on a woman's body like this, but someone pointed this out and I agree. She used to have boobs. Like I don't ever like saying this, feel comfortable saying this, but now people have pointed out the last couple of years that she's like getting smaller and smaller. I think the first time I heard people point that out was was it The Voice? No, I think it was during Wicked actually. During the press tour, they were pointing that out, but I didn't really pay attention because a lot of it looked like AI, like you know how people make AI shit of people all the time.
Oh yeah.
But recently, when the tour started, but I didn't like the way people were saying it, so that's why I was telling you, I just can't get into it. Because a lot of the how Sloan, it seemed like he wasn't even a fan, he was just doing it for clicks. Let's be honest with that, but I mean, it's concerning.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Sloan. I don't think it was for clicks. In fact, he says it the way that I've been saying it, that it is concerning. Her performances, comparing the performances now to, let's just say, I don't know, Dangerous Woman era,
Well,
are
that's
very,
different
very
though. That was
different.
pre-bombing though.
Yeah, but see, there is, like I said before, and we talked about this. I went to the Eternal Sunshine tour, ironically, the first stop, second night, and if it weren't for the production and for the set list, it would have fallen apart. As is, the videos that I took and I send it to my other friends who are also like Ariana. I forget what she calls her fans,
Ariana. Well,
but
she
who
actually
are,
doesn't. She hates that name.
uh, I do too. But anyway, they said like she looked like she had been crying the entire show,
Yeah.
and she is not okay. And
And
look,
no, it
I
has
will
nothing
look.
to do with her breakup because we found out recently that they broke up
Yeah,
like a while ago and nothing to do with that.
exactly.
People are gonna
Yeah,
say, "Oh my God, she's going through a breakup." Like, no, she's not. It's happened like a while ago.
exactly. Yeah, and I think it's anxiety. I think it's
Oh yeah, definitely.
PTSD from the bombings
I do
because
think she wanted to go on tour, but I don't think
yeah,
until it started she didn't realize that her relationship with
yeah.
is not ever going to be the same.
It's
She did
not.
talk about it. She talked about missing the road, but then again, there's a difference between fantasizing about it and then actually doing it.
Exactly.
So I think that's why it's so short because I think she had a feeling at the same time that might happen. It's
Yeah.
ending next month, so
That was my next question I was going to ask. So you say she's going on hiatus. Does that mean the tour is getting canceled, the rest of it, or
no,
is she going
no,
to
it's ending
finish the
next month.
tour
Why
and
would
then
she
go on hiatus?
cancel it?
I mean, canceled. It's not that deep. The last couple
No, she only
shows
canceled.
also.
No, she didn't. She canceled the first couple, not the last couple. She finished
Oh,
it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, either way, I thought she would like I don't know
No,
cancel
instead of
or
canceling the tour, she canceled everything she was doing after the tour, like American Horror Story. And then she was going to do a Broadway show with Jonathan Bailey. That's not happening anymore either.
yeah, that's good.
Now,
Um,
when I say she needs a hiatus, not a couple months, maybe like years.
yeah,
She has worked nonstop since 2010. She needs to just take like 4 or 5 years off.
yeah.
Yes, she did that between positions and Eternal Sunshine, but in between that, she was doing Wicked, so that wasn't even a break. So
Uh-uh.
yeah, so she's not going to be doing the promo tour for Fokker in Law, which okay, that's fine. She's going to take a break from being seen as well. She's not going to be in public either. And that's what this is. They're calling it a public visibility hiatus. So
Yeah, that's good.
she's basically going to pull a Taylor and just go into hiding, which she needs that.
Yeah, because and you've seen the videos like when
No, I've
she
seen the music video.
only no, I'm talking about the videos that I sent you about
No,
the
I know, but
Eternal
also
Sunshine.
the discussion got brought up again because there's a little portion of the pedal video where she's like dancing and then she turns a certain way and you could see her entire rib cage. So that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
it, I don't want to ever say this word, but it's kind of disgusting. Like I feel uncomfortable just saying that. Like it invokes like an uncomfortable feeling because you're not supposed to see that. Like
No, and that's let me just say something. What you're saying, I mean, yes, it's disgusting, but it's the truth.
not
It's not a
disgusting. Okay,
lie.
that's not the right word.
No, no,
Uncomfortable.
like,
Should I say?
yeah, and it is uncomfortable, and it is an uncomfortable topic to have.
Yeah.
What I would have a problem with, um, and some of the clubhouse people have said this, and the press back in the day would do this. If they were to make a joke, like say, "Oh, I'd rather use her as a chopstick," or they could have like if they made a joke like,
Apparently, Bill
"Oh,
Maher. Do you know who that is? Bill Maher.
oh yeah,
Apparently, he
Bill
made a
Maher."
crude. Apparently, he made a crude joke about her. I didn't know what it was. I'm not gonna look it up because I'm just gonna get infuriated. So,
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah,
yeah, it's Bill Maher. He's known for doing shit like that.
yeah. I mean, even Matt Rife knows boundaries. Like, come on. Like, just
Yeah,
I don't
like
know,
if they,
but
that's where I respect Stallone because if Stallone were to make a joke like that, oh, he would be
and I like
blocked.
Sloan. But that video, I think it was because he was reading certain comments and it pissed me off. Like, I don't know. It just when someone has an eating disorder, it can even be a health issue. It is not necessarily an eating disorder that can make someone really skinny, but like you have to handle it carefully when you're addressing, but you can address it too. Like you don't need to just not mention it. But when people are saying like, "Oh my God, she looks like she's about to go into organ failure," I'm like, "How do you know that? Like, if you don't have a medical degree and you can't you can't say shit like that. Or like people say, oh, she looks like she's gonna drop dead on stage. I'm like, that again, like that's where I get mad, because yes, she looks really skinny, and she like, but the way people handle it, like, it angers me, and I'm like, a lot of this, I feel like people are doing this because everyone's talking about it and they're getting views and they're getting clicks on it. So like, I'm like, it seems like a lot of people don't actually care about her and actually want her to get help, unlike me and you, who I've been a fan of hers for 16 years. And it's just like, I legitimately care about her, and I would rather her get help than want another album, for instance. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like Petal, I've heard this and I agree, Petal is her reputation album, because a lot has gone down the last couple of years, and she addressed a lot of it on the album. And if this is her last album, I'm fine with it, because it's probably one of her best albums, because she needs help, and she needs to focus on herself and stop being a people pleaser. And
I think that's why she did the tour.
Exactly. Like, I think she did want it, but then maybe, like, if her team really, I do trust her team though, because if her team really was only about the money, then they probably would not have let her down this hiatus. So like, I do trust that her mom and her brother and her team have her best interest. And once she does this hiatus, if she ever does come back, because a lot of things she mentioned on this album was disappearing. Like, she mentioned a lot on certain songs about just disappearing, about a life that she wished that she experienced. So I think she is ready to just put the pause on everything. I hope Ricky like, it seems like he cares a lot, because from what I've heard, he's been there for her through all of this. He's been there for her a lot throughout the decade that they've been broken up. Like, he was there for her when Mac passed away, apparently, from what I'm hearing. So I think, like, it sucks that the last, like, 5 years, everything she does, let's be honest, the whole Ethan thing was a little messy, but it wasn't just her. Like, people made it her fault. It wasn't just her. So like, everything she's done, the media has just shattered her. Like, it reminds me of 1989 Taylor, where everything Taylor did was just under a microscope, and she was it's just so aggravating.
Yeah, and they do this to women. I hate it when they do that to women. Like, that's what I always, like, hated growing up, is that they would always demonize a woman. And what I hated is that they will demonize them for being a victim of SA and R. And that really just sickens. Oh, like let me just say really quickly, because I was going to say something about the videos. When I was at the Eternal Sunshine tour, she only spoke 3 times.
Yeah.
And if you've seen past tours,
she speaks a lot. I know.
Yeah.
When the album first came out, she did a 4-minute speech addressing everything. So
yeah,
she was angry.
So that right there tells you that that's not her. Like, that definitely something is wrong, and that hiatus that she's going to take is long overdue. But I also want to get back to something you sent me earlier about Vanessa and Hudgens.
Oh yes,
the leak.
Vanessa Hudgens. Yes.
Yeah, I fucking hate that they did that. Like, I would understand
it. And then Disney made her apologize and basically say it was her fault.
Yeah,
it was aggravating.
I mean, let's be honest. Disney has I mean, they're not MAGA, but they are conservative. So if there's any conservatives listening, sorry, but I'm not sorry when I say that they tamed the victim blame.
Yeah.
Like, that, I would understand, like, if I was under the impression before I read the book but then it still didn't make sense even at the time, because why would she do that if she was signed out for High School Musical 3? I would understand after HSM 3, like what Adrian did with the third Cheetah Girls. Like, I would understand that, but if someone else leaked them and she was violated and she had to apologize when she didn't have to, like,
wasn't it the same person? Obviously, the girl that I sent the video didn't address this. Wasn't it a person going around hacking into phones at that point? Because didn't they do that to Miley too? Like, some guy was hacking into all these Disney girls' phones, and that's the same one that released the news. That could be very wrong. I remember hearing that.
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing.
I remember watching some deep dive, and because Miley she didn't get her nudes leaked, but she got that video of her smoking from the bong. Was around the same time, and apparently that was like hacked from her phone. It wasn't anyone leaking it like from their phones to the internet. So like, I think that's what I remember hearing. I could be very wrong, like I said.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's what I remember hearing. Well, at least the first Vanessa leak, not the second one. So,
yeah. Now with the Miley one, that I need to reread Disney High because there are two speculations. One is that now don't believe anything Fox News says. They're being sued when they said that the girls that there is a hacker, but the girls pay him to do that.
Oh hell no.
No. Yeah, that's no. And then the other side, like you said, like about there's a hacker that was doing that to them. I believe the other one about a hacker being out there because no person would.
When a lot of them are minors too. Why would they risk that?
Yeah, exactly. Adrian, I can understand, but but she was not a minor.
Jessica
There's a
Biel
difference.
did a similar thing too.
Yeah, but they were minors.
She posed for Playboy to get out of her Seventh Heaven contract.
Yeah, but even then, they wouldn't take it that far.
Yeah, I wonder if that goes back to her not wanting to work with Stephen Collins. Like, do you think she ever got weird vibes from him, and that's why she wanted, or she just wanted to move on?
Both. I think all of the above. I get Seventh Heaven was a Paramount show, so
I need to watch that though. I have heard it's a good show though, so I do want to watch it.
It is,
but I've heard it's actually, in terms of Brenda Hampton stuff, I've heard the writing on there is superior than Secret Life. You know what I've said many times about my thoughts on that show. So.
Oh yeah.
Like I've heard the writing on Seventh Heaven is better than Secret Life.
It is. No, it is. It is.
I got annoyed with how many times I heard the word sex come out of those teenagers' mouths on that show. I'm like, what? That's so not realistic. Like, yes, that's all teenagers think about, but do they actually say it out loud? No, they don't. And how they made like Adrian like the school slut. I didn't like that.
Yeah, either. I hated that. Yeah, I did too. And like especially her being a Latina in that role, that made me feel a certain type of way.
But I get why people love it though, because it's like I've heard people say this. It's like a train wreck. And you
can't shit! The way. I mean, we just saw this video about Molly Ringwald. Why she hated
where she said she hated. It made like she was on Andy Cohen's talk show. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, and he asked her to rank all of her past projects.
I have a lot to say about him, but anyway, continue.
I know. No, but it was juicy though. Like we have to admit, it was. Because I didn't know that there was this person that made it difficult for people, but. She ranked like Pretty in Pink number like her favorite because obviously that was like her major breakout. But then she also ranked Secret Life her least favorite because of a certain person on set. But she clarified she loves Shailene, so it's not her. And I'm trying to lean towards maybe George or one of the other dads. I don't know if it's.
Me too.
I don't feel like it's a woman.
I think it was either the guy that played George or John Schneider. The guy that played Grace's dad.
I've heard about John Schneider, so
it probably was.
He played Jonathan Kent on Smallville, and I feel like that's the only problem that I actually liked him in.
He played.
That could have been why they killed him off.
Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, because he was they killed him off. And I was like, I thought he actually died, but then a couple years later, he made reoccurring roles as Bree's, thank God, not father-in-law on Desperate Housewives for season 7.
And he was on Haves and Have-Nots, the Tyler Perry show as well.
Oh, that's right. Oh, and here's the other thing. Maybe here's how I can tell that an actor or actress is a creep or a bitch is by the role that they play in certain roles. Like
and Stephen Collins continuously.
Exactly, like Stephen Collins. It didn't shock me that he was what he was, given by the way his character was on Devious Maids.
Yeah, and also, I always forget, he was the original actor that played Lena's dad on The Fosters, if you remember that.
Lena. Lena. Yeah.
Him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why, because I think the allegations would come out, so by the time they showed Lena's parents again, it was a different guy playing him. And to be honest, I prefer the one that played him the second time, so...
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, is there any other thing you want to address in the pop culture rundown before we move on to our first segment?
I forgot. This is why part of the reason why the show's called Plot Twist. I forgot. I'm sorry. But no, let me move on. It'll probably.
So in a couple of days from now, I did look it up. Thursday for us, right?
Yes, Thursday on Disney Channel. If
Okay, so
we
Friday for
have,
us.
I
Okay.
have, and Friday. Yeah, well, yeah, Friday.
Well, Camp Rock
On Disney
3 is going to
Plus.
be premiering, and I was going to watch it because we were going to talk about it, but for some reason, like, I had a feeling Demi was going to be back because if she's going to be EPing and going to be on set, why wouldn't she be on the movie? But they're keeping it
Exactly.
so under wraps. But when I found out and I seen a screen grab of her on the movie, in the movie, I mean, she was standing next to Shane, which means we're going to see them together. Hopefully they're still together, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It got me more excited.
Yeah, me. Oh no, I was gonna say yeah, me too. Oh God, don't tell me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you've broken up a few times.
I'm sorry.
Is your internet on?
Hope the audience can hear me. But it's I turn it on and off and on and off.
Okay. I was gonna
But
say you
it's
might have to
on
just
right
leave it
now.
off.
Let me turn it off again. But uh, I hate with I hate technology. But
I
what
know
I
I do
was
too.
gonna say is that um oh hold on, let me check. Maybe it is off. We live um we live like a couple of miles, not even miles, but from a mountain. And even with the Wi-Fi off, or like our cellular data could be really, really funky.
Oh, understandable.
This-
We have issues with it too.
yeah, but what was I gonna say? Or were you gonna say something? Oh
No,
God,
I was
see
gonna
this
say
is
like the trailer because I had seen like they've been showing like little teasers, but they've interpolated like the past footage, but they've actually shown a full blown one recently on Instagram. And I don't know how I just now put two and two together. Connie is camp director, I think, because Brown is nowhere to be seen in any of the trailers, which makes
uh-uh.
me more excited that we're going to see more of Maria than we have in any of the past movies.
Yes.
And it kind of makes sense that Connie would become the camp director because besides Brown,
Yeah.
she's been the only other like adult staff member we've seen in the first two movies.
Yeah. Um but what was I gonna say? We were talking about Demi, how Demi was gonna make an appearance, or like
Mm-hmm.
I already knew. Um, I already knew because believe it or I mean, I can't believe it's been a year since when the Jonas Brothers kicked off their not happiness begins, fucking greetings from your whole town 20 years.
And they
And
brought Demi out to sing Camp Rock
Demi,
songs.
if that's not an Easter egg, I don't know what is,
Also,
because that
I love how much she loves "Wouldn't Change a Thing" because that is one of my favorite Camp Rock songs.
Me too. So like, and the fact that that was announced and that she was going to be EP, how could she be EPing it and not be in the movie? How can her TV
Exactly.
mom be in the movie and her not being in it? Not to mention, and forgive me for jumping ahead, but they did show this. This is why we were going to react to the podcast, but Disney, we didn't want to get copyrighted. But in the podcast, they actually showed a scene of Maria, um, like showing and gifting a Mitchie's old songbook to
Yeah,
Lanai's character.
they've been showing that in the trailer, her book. Like, so that's been like a
Yes,
big Easter egg for Mitchie being back.
yes. Um, and then I think in the trailer I did see like Mitchie sort of
Apparently she's in that, but
appear.
I guess I wasn't paying attention. Like, but it's a small little scene of her though. But I am
Yeah, I think.
excited. Um,
Yeah.
I was telling you this the other day. I do wish this is the beginning of a new trilogy, maybe, even if this is the only one that old people come back for. Because the thing with Camp Rock that is different from the other franchises is I just love the vibe of it and the aesthetic.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to have the cast in every single one for me to enjoy it.
Uh-uh.
Because I just like summer camp vibe movies, and I feel
Yeah.
like this generation of Disney Channel fans needs a movie like this. I don't know, so
Hmm.
we'll see how well this does. Maybe we could get another one after this. You never know.
Oh yeah. I mean, so so I one thing I want to talk about is what, like, you were 4 and you said you remember watching the first Camp Rock. How was that for you? Like,
I
what
remember
did you
watching
think
the
of it?
second one more than I remember watching the first one, but which
Mm,
I was 6 when that one came out. But I don't know. Because I remember vividly where I was. We were living in an apartment at the time when the second one came out. And I remember watching it on premiere night, obviously, because I was a diehard Disney Channel fan at the time. And I just remember, like, Camp Rock always made me feel like comforted. I don't know. Like, I loved all the characters. Like, do I wish we got like Allison Stoner back and all the other people? Yes, but also the thing about this movie is it wouldn't make sense for everyone to be back because it's a summer camp movie. Which is why, again, it could work without everyone coming back because the character is Camp Rock. I feel like the character itself is the summer camp, and it's everyone's experiences at the summer camp. So I'm really excited because I don't know. It was a big movie in my generation, as well as like Lemonade Mouth and 16 Wishes and like a lot of my other favorite DComs. But I don't know. I'm really excited. Hopefully it does well because I want more.
I think it will.
Yeah. And hopefully, the main girl, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but hopefully she does better in this than Descendants 5 because I didn't really like her in that movie.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't either, but I saw her interview. I like her. Like,
no,
she actually has a good thing. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that it was intentional for the character that she played on Descendants 5 to be a little annoying, and it worked a little too well for me because I'm like, oh, this girl, I can't even. But, and I think, now that I'm looking back, I think the reason why I don't really like Descendants 5 is I think you can feel Kylie and Malia's tension. I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah.
People are trying to say it's like sapphic, and I'm like, no, it's not. You can feel that they don't like each other. It comes through. Like, they're good actors, not great enough to disguise that. Because I don't know, it felt different to Descendants 4. So I think that's another reason why I didn't really like the fifth one.
That and the thing is like, even with Descendants 4, they didn't really put enough effort into it like they did with the first 3 movies.
Oh yeah, the plot was a mess.
Like, it was. And I will say, I get what they did with the 5, with her being that annoying sister. They were trying to do what Disney Channel does, is this little Easter egg thing where they'll put because it did this with Demi Lovato with As the Bell Rings. And that was like their little hint of, you'll see her again. Like, with Selena Gomez with Hannah Montana.
And Sweet Life in the very, very
beginning.
Oh,
that's right. They did. I forgot about that. But when I was gonna say, when I started or when I heard about Camp Rock, it was right my age bracket. I was 14 going on 15, and I'm not gonna lie, like at this point, I was already over High School Musical because I felt like it was popular for the wrong reasons because of Zac Efron, and I felt like that was a very
Legends.
Exactly, and okay. No shade for those who are a fan of Zac Efron, but y'all really missed the message. And with Demi, like with Camp Rock, and now the Jonas Brothers are in it, but it's like, how do I explain it? It's like there was a message.
There's something special.
There is, and the thing is, I related. There's 2 reasons why Camp Rock was special to me. One, because at this point, between 2002 and now, or like when Camp Rock came out, we didn't really have a Latina titular character in a DCOM. So I thought that was very representative because, one, usually the Latina roles were like they live in a farm or in an apartment, and and the family like spoke like it was very like they were either they were it was a middle class Latina family. Let me put it that way. Like that it represented me. And even though this is Wizards, not Camp Rock, I remember something you said about how they can be Latina roles that don't speak Spanish.
Yes,
and that's true.
Seen.
Yeah, and that's how I felt with Camp Rock because I felt seen as well. Where like Latina people can go to camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to camp growing up, and I know the feeling like having to change yourself because you don't say like, look at these kids. Like
a lot of them come from and say like her mom was a big time record producer when in fact she worked in the kitchen to like try to impress Tess and like all the other people. I felt seen in that as well because obviously growing up we didn't have a lot of money, so like we couldn't even go to a camp like that. But I don't know. That's why I'm like I like those movies because it's like I don't know. It's like something you wish you could do as a kid. I obviously not all camps are as fun as like Camp Rock or a Camp Kikiwaka because I did watch a little bit of Bunks. I did like the early seasons, but that's beyond the point. But I don't know. And also the camp in Parent Trap, like not all of them are as fun as that, so I know that. But I don't know. I loved those movies for,
I did too.
And also the friendships. Like I loved Caitlin and Mitchie's friendship.
Oh, that's the other thing. Mitchie didn't have any friends at home. She only had that one Asian. She only had that one Asian girl, but like, given the fact that she written songs in the room a lot, and the fact that she had to make up a lot, like I relate to that because I remember I did not start making my first real friends or like being part of a certain group until I went to camp and until I went to CSB because I was pretty much alone. And like Mitchie said, like no one was busting their bus to sit at my lunch table. So I thought it would be different once I come here.
Yeah.
And I felt seen in that movie.
I also think Demi might have seen herself in that movie because she has said she's in her room all night long writing and making songs. So I feel like, and this is before she was signed, I think. So
yeah,
I think she's also seen herself in Mitchie as well. I mean, real life did meet the movie because she did date Joe Jonas in real life, and she did become like a singer. Yeah. So like, but I don't know. I feel like Camp Rock was like one of the first DComs I was really obsessed with.
That makes sense.
And then after that, it was the Hannah Montana movie, which I know it was theatrically released, but I still consider it a DCom because it's based off a show. But
I did too. I did too.
It felt like a DCom. It didn't feel like a theatrical movie.
Well, yeah. Well, see, the thing is, I still think it felt like a DCom, even though we know that if it were a DCom, the premise would be so different.
Yeah, it would actually be set in the same universe as the show. It would not have this many plot holes if it was a DCom.
Like, I can tell you what would happen in the way, like the shoe fight scene, it would not happen with Tyra Banks. It would happen with Michaela.
Or like an in-universe person that we've already met.
Yeah, Michaela. Or Amber and Ashley. Or Amber and Ashley and Michaela. That would be good.
Yeah.
We would have seen Amber. And it would be a combination of that and the Jake Ryan Jesse thing. They would. Yeah, and then maybe Lucas.
They made a ship her and Lucas Till for him to never come back.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if they would bring Taylor Swift though, or maybe they could, because
they could
Disney's
probably.
Budget. Yeah. Yeah, like the thing with the DComs are, and we could make. I'm probably do like a Disney Channel episode to look out for that. But is that what do we always say, Danny? They're much better. They always underestimate them. They're much better, more feel good films with a good heartfelt message than an actual prestige theatrical release.
Exactly.
Like that's why we consider Hannah Montana the movie.
All about, like the Descendants franchise was all about like, being judged for your parents' actions and like having to prove to these people that like I'm not my parents. And that's what I loved about the original trilogy of Descendants was that messaging. And I feel like with Descendants 4 and 5, obviously it's not gonna be the same because it's not the same people. But like I feel like once Cameron Boyce died, they should have just left it alone. To be honest, like
they should have.
The cast even said they're not going to reunite and do a movie together because it's not going to be the same. So I don't know.
But then the thing is, the premise of Descendants is like Camp Rock. Like it wasn't based on Mel and Evie and them and all. Like it, they could have done it. They could have done it. The problem that I have is the lack of effort that they didn't try at all, like they did with the original one.
It felt so like. I loved the plots of all three Descendants films. Like,
yeah,
for a while it was hard to rank my favorite. Obviously, Descendants 3 is my favorite now, just because I love the soundtrack from Descendants 3, and then I love Descendants 2, and then Descendants 1. But
I think 2 is my favorite. But yeah,
is it 2, 3, and then 1, or 2, 1, 3?
2, 1, 3.
Okay, mine is
because
3,
I don't.
2,
yeah, I don't know what the hell they were doing with Audrey. That's why I didn't get with 3.
I think it's because Queen of Mean is my favorite Descendants song of all time.
Mine too. Yeah, mine too.
Me and Nick would just put it on randomly and just sing it. Still to this day, like I just love that song.
Oh, and then there's a gay character or a gay actor. He's hot.
Yeah, Cheyenne
Mel's
Jackson.
dad. Yes.
Yeah. He's a Broadway icon
He,
as well, too.
he is. Let's talk about how Disney. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say how Disney is good at spotting Broadway icons into films, including DComs.
Oh yeah, they've done it a few times, haven't they?
Yeah, with Heidi, Cheyenne, Christian. Hello, Christian Chenoweth.
Oh yeah, Kristen Chenoweth, who played Mal. She was the original Galinda from Wicked.
Yeah.
And then they've also, and I also love how they, have a lot of the same people as well. Like that's what I loved about DComs was sometimes you spot familiar faces. Like Brenda's song, let's be honest, was the queen of DComs for a minute.
Yes.
The Ultimate Christmas Present, which is one of my favorites. Was she in?
Oh, you seen it?
Of course, I've seen it. I grew up on that movie.
Wait, with the Ultimate Christmas Present? I thought you said you hadn't seen it.
I love that movie.
Oh.
I used to always want a machine just like that to make it snow here, but obviously that's not.
I
loved that movie.
Oh well, I'm glad you saw it now because you told me like I haven't seen it. Oh,
no,
I'm glad you saw it. Oh well, that's good. I
think the first time I seen it, it was like on a rerun, maybe like 12 years ago.
Oh yeah. That's what I love about these. They're on a rerun for like.
That's how I seen Read It or Weep. That's how I watched Stuck in the Suburbs. That's how I watched Wendy Wu Homecoming, even though I don't remember anything about Wendy Wu Homecoming.
And Brenda was in Stuck in the Suburbs, by the way.
Okay, good. So she was the queen of DComs then. She had
She was.
Like before she got the role of London, she was in a lot of good fucking DComs, and I like.
Yeah.
Especially, I think the Ultimate Christmas Present probably is top 5 for me. I think, like, if we're not talking about like the ones that have sequels, Ultimate Christmas Present is one of my favorites. I think I love that movie so much. I rewatched
me too.
2 years ago. Yeah, Christmas 2024. I rewatched it 2 years ago.
Also, I mean, I kind of consider this even a DCom, even though it's obviously at the college. She was also on College Road Trip.
Yes, I love that movie. I forgot she was in that because I only remember Raven and Martin Lawrence. I might have to rewatch that movie as well because it's been a minute.
Yeah.
I do want to do. We talked about this. Like, I think next episode, you guys, is going to be like our childhood favorite movies, and not necessarily Disney, because as I was coming up with this idea, I realized how many of them
might be for me, but yeah.
Well, yeah, no, there's a lot for me too, but like, I was obsessed with Racing Stripes for some reason. That movie with Hayden Panettiere. I don't know why, but I loved Racing Stripes as a kid. We owned it on DVD, and I watched it so many times that it got scratched up like really bad. I loved like Monster House, which had Mr. Musso in it. There was a lot of movies that I forgot about until I sent you that idea. So we're gonna talk about that next episode. But yeah, so the point of bringing up Camp Rock 3, which this is why it's called Plot Twist, but what are your 3 predictions for the movie? Because it's Camp Rock 3. You give them predictions, and I'll go next.
So my prediction, and I'm just gonna skip because it's gonna be number 3, but I'll just put it at number 1. Michi is gonna be the MC, like in Camp Rock 2, how they had the MC. I think that's what's gonna happen, or she's gonna be one of the judges. The second one, my second prediction is that there's gonna be a pun intended plot twist of some sort. We're probably gonna see more guest appearances. Maybe we might see maybe not Brown, but Brown's son. I feel like they tend to do that in sequels. Also another thing I wanted, this is why I heard the podcast. So remember when you told me about the love, I don't know if you want to call it a love triangle, I think a love square. What happened with Malachi Barton? They did not mention Malachi. They did not mention Malachi at all in the podcast when they had Lahi on. So which leads me to I guess this could be a part of a movie prediction, but I think this is gonna be a launching pad for Lonnie. I'm just gonna call Lonnie. He has a Spanish. She has some good music. She is.
I know. I did see the clip because obviously I follow both Sherry, Cola, and Sierra on Instagram. Because I'm a huge Good Trouble fan. So I did see them like reposting clips, and she was like talking about how she wants to do Spanish music at some point.
Yeah, she's gonna be like the next. I
Becky
feel like
G, probably.
Yeah, like we're gonna have a Spanish Latina artist that's been on a DCOM. This is the first. If she blows up, this is gonna be the first Latin crossover artist next to Selena Gomez.
Yeah, because she has released Spanish music, and she just released a Spanish single a couple weeks ago, which I love that song.
Me too.
Because Benny is releasing a Spanish album. Because obviously he doesn't sing; he just produces for people. But he's released his next album. I forget producers release albums too, and they just have a bunch of collabs on the album.
Oh, they do.
They don't sing, but
that was the 2010s.
His next album is a Spanish record. So that song with Becky and Selena was a single from that album. But I love how they work together. You know, him and his wife. I just love when people when they, married couples work together, and it's just. Selena even said that when they did. I don't know. I know that the last album wasn't your cup of tea, but I love chill music. So of course I love that album a lot. Like that's one of my favorite Selena albums. And I just love how she said it was so easy to work with him because that was her at the time fiance. And that was one of the easiest albums to make. So he creates such a special place in terms of when they work together. And I love that for her because we all know it's been a journey with Selena. So
it has.
But yeah, so I'm excited for Camp Rock 3. Let's get into my predictions.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see Caitlyn at some point. Now, hear me out. They're doing the tour, if you know that. Allison is a part of this tour. I don't know if you know that. I had seen something on their Instagram about how they are going to be on tour with the Camp Rock, Zombies, Descendants thing. So I'm like, is that an Easter egg for a potential Caitlyn cameo, maybe?
Most likely, I feel like she could be the producer on the Connect 3 tour. That's why I say we might see some surprise cameos.
And if so, we have to hear a "she's really good" reference because that is the biggest meme to come out of a DCOM ever.
Yeah, that one and grab a mic and a hat.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Number 2, I know I said this, so it's kind of contradicting myself. I don't think Mitchie and Shane will be together still. Maybe they'll get back together at the end of the movie if they aren't. I don't know. I feel like they're going to pull like a Raven's Home or a Wizards where the main couple are no longer together.
Yeah.
Oh! I forgot to put this on the docket. Okay, well, I opened the door for that. We'll do this next. The Wizards finale. We'll get to that.
Right.
But if you remember, Alex and Mason weren't together anymore. Devon and Raven weren't together anymore. So I have a feeling Mitchie and Shane won't be together anymore either. And if they aren't, I think they'll find their way back to each other in the third one. Or maybe not at all. Because not every teen couple needs to stay together for the rest of their lives. But we'll see. So that's my second prediction. Number 1, which I've said this many times, is Connie will be camp director, I think. And
yeah. Oh, she is actually. I think she said in the podcast.
Which I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
I think that is really exciting. Not only because she is a Latina and a boss, but also because I love Connie. She's one of my favorite DCOM
Me too.
moms. And I am biased because Maria Canales-Barrera is one of my favorite TV moms.
Oh, I love Maria.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like Teresa Russo, top 5 favorite Disney moms. Even though I can't stand Leon Baker at all. Amy Duncan's on that list as well. I don't know. It's just my generation of TV moms and movie moms was unmatched. Like Teresa Russo, Amy Duncan, and then there's a lot of Nickelodeon moms as well, but obviously that doesn't count because we're talking
Georgia. Believe it or not, Georgia Jones.
Yes, I love
Shake It Up.
Yes, I loved her as well. Like there was a lot of good TV moms in my generation of Disney, and but Teresa Russo definitely unmatched, and of course Connie. Let's be honest. One of my favorite reactors pointed this out. Was there no other Latina? Like, why was there the same Latina playing moms at all?
Yeah, I thought of that. And you know what? I like that because no, me too. I was biased. That's why I love that. And you know what? There's something that we forgot to point out. Well, a couple of things. But the first one is Maria got to be Demi's and Selena's mom.
And they were besties at the time, yeah.
Yes, and she was also going to be Selena's mom on the Scrapped Stevie spinoff for Lizzie McGuire.
I kind of wish, I know that if it happened, she wouldn't have been Alex. But I still kind of wish, we could see the pilots of them. I think the R1 pilot is floating around somewhere on YouTube.
Well, if it weren't for if the R1 one happened, we wouldn't have seen Wizards. However, if the Lizzie one did happen, we still would have seen Wizards because it was not going to be a.
Or no, not.
Yeah. Yeah, so by then it would have been a transitional type of or either Wizards or O'Malley's, because that's what Wizards was going to be called.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Uh,
Trust me. Like I remember, I was a religious Wizards of Waverly pod. I miss that show
yeah,
so much. I miss that's
me
actually
too.
one of the only podcasts that I miss.
Me
I
too.
told you the Pretty Little Liars one was a mess. It was not what I wanted it to be.
It was, but
But I do miss that one because Jen and David worked so well together, and we will get to the Wizards the drama surrounding all of that when we talk about Wizards.
oh,
But
by the way, I'm speaking of TV moms, Ashley Marin, top like favorite, along
oh
with
yeah,
Arya's
definitely.
mom. Pam and
Well,
I
Ella's
know. I feel like
debatable.
yeah, because
Pam,
I
I
think
actually appreciate it because not everyone's accepting, but I'm glad of the journey. No, because that's realistic as well. Not everyone's
yeah, it is.
sad, but I love how by the end of the show she was like to the point where she gave Allison a ring to propose to Emily. And I'm like, wow, the
Yeah.
growth. But I do love Pam. I
Veronica.
think I'm biased because I love the actor that plays her though.
Same with Veronica. I love Veronica.
Yes. She's messy.
She reminds me of my mom in a way because of our that used to be our dynamic when I was in high school. So like that, and also she's a badass lawyer. I
Oh,
love
yes,
how
she
she
is.
took down Detective. Was it Garrett, the one that
No,
like
Wilden.
tried to corner or Wilden tried to
She
corner
was Garrett's
Emily in
lawyer,
the
remember?
yeah, and and when they were trying to torment the girls and trying to torment Emily about the note for Allison, she was like, you better stop right there, or else like
And he
you're
also
gonna
outed
face
her
me in
too.
court. Yeah. So it's
No,
like I
that's another thing is I want to cover
yeah,
PLO on an episode because I could talk about that show for hours.
me too.
But
I mean,
yeah.
speaking of decoms, Ryan Merriman, Smart House was
Yeah, and
on Pretty Little Liars.
I loved that's another okay, so we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll like
And Sophia Carson. But I'm sorry, yeah, continue.
yeah, I kind of want to say my top 5 childhood decoms now. I will talk about it more in the next episode. We're already talking. So my favorites and this might shock you, Lise, because I don't think I've ever brought this up to you either. But my favorite decoms. Let's do top 10 because there's actually a lot. 13th Year was one of my favorites.
Yeah, my first one, but yes.
Loved Camp Rock, Lemonade Mouth, 16 Wishes, Let It Shine, Teen Beach Movie because Teen Beach 2 does not exist in my house. The Wizards of Waverly Place movie. I'm trying to think of another one. Hold on. Oh my God. Descendants, duh. And oh my God. Read It or Weep. There we go. That was the one where I first seen the Panabaker sisters in. And then after that I seen Danielle in The Flash. And then I seen Kay on like a bunch of like guest spots on like crime shows.
Yeah. I think one of them was either on CSI or NCIS, which you're currently binging now.
They were all on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danielle was on SVU. She played someone who murdered her mom. Her mom was like one of those overbearing, like, enmeshed parents where they like basically lived their kids' lives. You know what I mean? Danielle basically played Gypsy Rose Blanchard. In fact, I had watched an episode after I heard about that case. I'm like, is this based off it? But no, it came out in like 2005, so it was way before that. But it just reminded me of that. But yeah, those are my top 10. And I know that's kind of like a variety because like 13th Year is about a merman and like, but I don't know. There were just a lot of decoms that they're not being made like that anymore. And I like everything's all about franchises now or remakes. And I miss the old school decoms where every once in a while there'd be like a sequel.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed of myself. Honorable mentions: Twitches and Halloween Town. I don't know how I forgot about those, considering every Halloween I would watch Halloween Town on Twitches on Clockwork for like a decade. So, yeah.
So I might have to categorize mine, but I was gonna say in regards to decoms, and I was thinking of doing a whole episode of Disney Channel because the reason why decoms were floating the way they are is because they're restructuring everything again because of Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So, and which brings me to what I wonder if they're going to do 100 or 200 decom celebration. How's that going to look like? And if Camp Rock 3 is going to be the, what would you call it now? I would have to count it. But remember how I cannot believe that Sabrina Carpenter, who starred in the most on the 100 decom Adventures in Babysitting, is a babysitting, not babysitting, babysitting was a huge, what became a huge pop star 10 years later. Like, I that's still so real for me.
I
like,
still need to watch that movie because I'm a fan
You
of the
do.
original movie because this is a remake. If you guys don't know that,
It is. It is.
inspired by a movie from the 1980s, which I love the original movie so much with Elizabeth Shue. And I think I'm biased, that's why I haven't watched it yet. I do love Sophia and Serena, but I just love the original so much. But yeah, so like you're right though. Like a lot of these, like who would know like how many like so many iconic people have come out of Disney, like Hilary Duff, which I'm so happy Hilary's having this big resurgence. She deserves it. Because Luck or Something is still one of my favorite projects of the year. And
It is.
then we have like Sabrina, Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, because yes, she came from Disney. Christina Aguilera, Ryan Gosling, like all these.
I agree with that tweet. Remember that I shared about you off camera about that person that called out Disney for like, now you're considered Britney Disney royalty after y'all like, but continue. I'm sorry, continue.
No, but like I'm saying, like you're right though. Like, who knew as children watching these amazing movies and shows, which they are amazing, just because they're made for TV movies does not make them less than. Like, this is coming from people who are. I love Lifetime movies, and those are like some of the trashiest made for TV movies in the best way possible. But
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like a lot of made for TV movies are some of the best. Like those are the ones that
they are,
but they're the best.
Mm-hmm. And you
like
know what?
Cyberbully,
yes,
to this day. And I love this because I got to rewatch it not that long ago in health class because it teaches an important message.
It does.
And you don't see health class people showing. You don't hear about health class teachers showing. Like I even saw the same health class. I saw No One Would Tell, starring Candace Cameron Bure and Fred Savage, about an abusive relationship. It was a Lifetime.
Yeah.
90s. But you don't hear about teachers showing theatrical movies in their health classes and stuff. So that just shows how important those are.
A history class showed Princess Protection Program, so that's saying something. Well, because I talked about a coup, so what a fun. But there was a story that I was gonna, the book Disney High, or was it Disney? Well, both books anyway. Disney High. So yeah, it was Disney High. So in the 90s chapter, and this was like, and this is why I say that this is going to be actually next year officially is going to be 30 years of when the Disney Channel original movies brand started. With Under Wraps being the first film. I hate that they remade it, but anyway, I digress.
I know I hated the Freaky Friday remake as well. Like they need to stop doing that.
Yeah, but anyway, so one of the CEO at Disney at the time was trying to gather a dinner party on a Friday night, and he called one of his friends for it, and his friend had kids, and they said no, we can't make it because I don't know if you know, but we're having a movie night. We're watching a movie that you have premiering on that night, so I'm surprised you're having a dinner party. Literally, it was hilarious because guess what movie that was? I think I told you the story.
Hold on. What? Okay, sorry, I'm back. What was it?
Johnny Tsunami. One of my favorites, by the way.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Yep. So that goes to show how they underestimated.
I want to do a big chronological rewatch of DComs because there's a lot I haven't seen. Like I've heard of them.
They are.
Like, I've never seen Horse Sense. I've never seen Under Wraps.
Joey Lawrence was my MCM till this day. But yeah,
I did watch him on Melissa and Joey. I loved that show. But yeah, there's a lot that I want to rewatch. Like do a chronological. Well, except for sequels, like I'll watch the sequels back to back. But like I want to do a chronological from the first DCOM to the recent, even if I don't like them. Just because I don't know, like I've even thought about doing a Disney Channel show rewatch as well, starting because I need to watch Even Stevens. I think it's long overdue. I know it, like I've tried, and I know it's not my vibe, but I just want to watch it
It's not.
because
Yeah.
just because I like so that when we do talk about Disney Channel, I know like I can't be best friends with a Disney Channel encyclopedia and not understand most of the things you're talking about. So I think that's gonna be a project I'm gonna start, and that includes animated. So like The Proud Family. I want to finally watch Kim Possible. Because obviously I know the theme song and I know like the general plot, but I haven't seen it. So like that'd be such a fun thing to do, and I'll give updates and stuff.
But I was gonna say really quickly, my favorite decom. I'm just gonna say my top 5. One being, so my first decom was the 13 year.
Such a
Second,
good film.
it is. Second one, um, Radio Rebel. I'm just going out of
Yes.
order at this point. Yeah, I felt seen with that movie. Xenon, the Xenon
Debbie
franchise.
Ryan was also underrated as well.
Yes. Um,
Love Xenon.
Smart Xenon, Smart House, the Horse Sense films, Read It and Weep. I'm just going out of order at this point. The Cheetah Girls, which let me just say, how do you feel that Sophia Bush is not only going to be part of the Cheetah Girls, but going to be the next one to be part of the decom? Like, how do you feel about that? Being an OTH fan,
Well, I actually
and we love Sophia in this house, by the way.
yes, I love how she's such an activist as well, and
Yeah.
yeah, I absolutely adore Sophia Bush. In fact, she's like my WCM. Is that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I hear you say MCM, but she's the one that always reminds me I'm bi, because a lot of my crushes are male, but like every time I see Sophia Bush on my screen, I'm like, oh my god, you remind me that I like women as well. I know that we're going off topic, but I love Sophia Bush. I have for a long time since I started watching One Tree Hill. I think she's gonna be fun, and I loved that you sent me. I don't know how. Like, I'm so sick of my Instagram algorithm. How I see so much negativity on my Instagram. Like, okay, there's a lot of stuff I'm glad I'm seeing about the recalls, about the jalapenos and stuff. But like, I'm tired of everything being political. I guess that's because I consume a lot of that without realizing. Because I didn't see the post that you sent me where she was posting from South Africa and showing how much she was like, oh, like I love how I'm seeing a cheetah while filming the Cheetah Girls. I'm like, oh my god, I love how she's posting about this. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if her girlfriend's there with her. I don't know if like they are allowed to bring family when they're on work trips, but because her and Sophia and her girlfriend are like so cute, and
Because Keely's not there, I think they can.
maybe
We did an episode about that, so that's why I'm saying it. Because Keely's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they
I'm
can.
excited. I hope she's in a lot of it. Considering she's posting from Africa, goes to show
I think she is.
Goes to show she's going to be in the meat of the film. Because I think we're going to pick up in New York, like every movie, but then they're going to go to South Africa on this trip and then form the next generation, which I know people are mad that it's not okay, let's be honest. I actually like the plot that they are going with it being the next gen and not them being, because it's going to show that not every girl group is together forever. So why would they still be together all these years later, you know?
Yeah, like what? I'm sorry, but like a movie like The Cheetah Girls, not that I mean, I will admit I am shocked that Chanel's not a parent, but not every it'll be sounding repetitive if all the Cheetah Girls came back like as the Cheetah Girls, like if it was like in 2003, like no, that's
you know what I realized?
A sequel. What?
Keely is the Jessie Nelson of the Cheetah Girls. She's like the Jessie Nelson from like Little Mix. She's the Camila Cabello of the Cheetah Girls. Like it's like yeah.
Well, like, Camila Cabello I could see, but Jessie is nicer. That's the thing.
Well, not to
Jessie
them.
Nelson.
Not
yeah.
To them. She just made a whole documentary bashing Perry, Jade, and Leanne. So I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna watch the documentary because I do feel bad if you know what's happening with her twins. They have like a very dangerous, like genetic disease, and
See,
when this
that's why I
came
have a
out,
tender spot for
yeah,
Jessie
I
than I do for
cared about
Sheely.
her,
Yeah.
but and like of course all the girls reach out to her, like Perry, Jade, and Leanne. But then the documentary came out, like, okay, a lot of her reasoning for why she was so miserable during Little Mix is because of mental health reasons. Like she was bullied online by
Yeah.
fans, which that's wrong. But
See,
she
that's what
blamed
I'm
that
talking
on the
about.
girls though. Like
Yeah,
that's what
I
I don't
know.
like.
Yeah, me too.
So
But
that's
see,
why
that's
it
why
kind of
I'm
reminded me of
talking.
Keeley a little bit.
Not really. Sorry, but it reminded me more of Camila than Keely because both
Well,
her
yeah,
and
you're right.
Jesse and Camila, I have more sympathy for them and empathy for them. And even Camila admitted it. Like, she took ownership for it. Keely hasn't. I mean, we saw the video. I mean, we reacted to the video.
Yeah.
And, like, and maybe, did I say this? And I mean, I'll say it again. If Keely were to return back, given that both Raven and Adrian are EPs, and
They would
she's
have dropped
still
out.
willing to, yeah, it would have been
Well,
one.
I don't know if
Well,
A Raven would have, because I do
oh
legitimately
no,
think that when they made amends, they made amends. But I do think Adrian would have like, hell no, I'm not coming back.
oh no, Adrian would have come back. What
You think
would
so?
happen? Oh yeah, she's admitted that when she sticks to a pro, this is why Zodi. She's a Scorpio, and you know,
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah, she even said when they were talking about Julie Chen's husband, when she left the talk, she said, I don't care if my husband like did whatever. I'm still staying on the show. I'm not gonna quit just because of whatever. I'm
No, she
standing.
quit. Julie quit because was too cowardly to face all the women at the table because they were talking about her husband during
Exactly.
the Hot Topics roundtable. So
That's what I'm saying. Adrian is like, I'm staying. Like, no.
yeah,
She said no, she said it. Remember, this is the thing what I loved about the reel is that they especially Adrian, she told you and showed you who she was.
I
She
miss the real
told you
so much.
like, so do I. And she said, like, I don't fuck with my job. If this is my job, I'm doing it. The one that would probably, well, actually, I don't think any of them would quit. That's the thing. They're all of them are relentless. Like, but what would happen is that Keely would get easily triggered because both Adrian and Raven are going to be executive producers.
And they're really
So
close.
yeah, so
At least now
she's
they're
gonna get
close. Back then they weren't.
yeah, she's gonna get jealous because they're executive producers. So if they give her notes, she's gonna be like, "Why you're just telling me that because I was the four." And then let's just say when they do press together, what is Keely gonna say on the red carpet?
Yeah. I am excited for the
Yeah,
press tour though because
me
I
too.
hope when they do press, it's Raven, Sabrina, because even if Sabrina's doing a cameo, let's be honest, she's gonna be involved in that press tour because of the
Oh
nostalgia
yeah,
and all of that. But I hope that when the press tour starts, because it's probably gonna start maybe a month or two before the movie comes out, I hope it's Raven, Adrian, Sabrina, Sophia, and then the next gen girls. I hope Sophia's involved as much as possible in the press for the movie. Um,
yeah.
I don't know because, and I think I love this because One Tree Hill and the Cheetah Girls started the same year, and I love how
They
they're crossing
did.
paths. So
I know.
yeah, I'm excited.
That's why, like, when I found out the announcement, I thought of you. Like, I was like, how do you feel like 2003 franchises are going to be meshed together? And honestly, I think Sophia is going to be in it. Like, well, because one, why would they announce her, like, put her as a principal cast?
Exactly.
Two, like, why? Why are they hyping it besides me? Why are they like? Because if she wasn't going to be as, they would have said like they wouldn't even have like put they wouldn't have announced it until like the third week or something. So her character is going to be. I think they said that her character is going to be like the coordinator of the project that they're doing in Africa.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
And
And
they have the name already.
I love
It's
how they're
another
sticking.
Jennifer.
Oh, I love that. I also love how they're sticking to the theme of because obviously I've only seen the first one so far, but I love how they're sticking to the theme of it being a vacation type movie, like the second, third, and now the fourth. The second
Yeah,
one
me
was
too.
Spain, right? Hello.
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. I thought you were. When you go quiet for a little bit, I get scared that it's gonna kick you out.
So do I. But
Um,
anyway, continue.
the second one they were in Barcelona, and then the third one was India, right?
Yeah,
So I love how they're sticking to the theme even all these years later of them going on a trip. So I love that,
yeah, me too.
and I hope, like, I can't wait for the soundtrack. Um, But yeah, let me look at the docket. We keep a docket, you guys, so we know to stay on
For the most part, but
task.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I just finished a book a couple days ago called "The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo." Now, with a title like that, and I knew the general plot, it's about this woman named Monique who gets asked to interview this like elite old Hollywood actress named Evelyn Hugo, and like she's under the guise of like Evelyn Hugo is auctioning off 12 of her like most famous dresses and gowns and selling it. Like all the proceeds go to breast cancer because sadly her daughter died from that. And then when Monique gets there, she finds out no, this is not like a cover story. She wants to tell her entire life story. And I'm like, oh, I love this. So we get like a background on Evelyn, and like we come to find out that Evelyn is a bisexual woman, and like the love of her life is actually a woman. And because of the time where this took place, she got married pretty much most of the time because to cover the fact that she was in a lesbian relationship, because it took place in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I didn't realize that going in. Thank God I didn't look up spoilers, but it was so fucking good. And I cried at the end because of the plot twist that the reason why Evelyn is telling the reason why Evelyn is telling her life story is because she is dying from breast cancer herself. Which, when you read the story, it hurt. It's sad, obviously, but the thing that was she was famous for was her boobs, because obviously it was the olden days, and like you know how they treated women, and like they pointed out like how sad it was that the thing that made her famous was the thing that was killing her, and it was just so sad because she outlived everyone. She outlived her best friend who was also gay, and like she married him to like cover it up. But then they also had like that was one of her best marriages because they were actually best friends. So, like they weren't romantic, but it also shows because she had a shitty upbringing, and like she found her own family in him and Harry, and like he's the reason why she was famous because he worked in the studio, and it was a mix of like real life history and fictional history because all the studios were that they worked for were real. Like they talked about MGM, Paramount. I forget what studio she worked for. I can't remember. But one of her first husbands, she married him because she legitimately loved him. It was before she fell in love with Celia. And then he turned out to be a fucking asshole and started beating her. And it was the 50s, so it was a different time. So she divorced him, and he ruined her. He had her blacklisted from the studio they worked at.
Oh, yeah.
And then she fell in love with Celia, who was a co-star of hers. And it was so, it was like probably one of the best books I've read this year. And she outlived, like once her and Celia were finally together, because of course they were on and off. Celia was very insecure because at the time bisexuality was a new thing. So like she didn't realize that Evelyn could also be in love with men as well. So she was always jealous that like Evelyn was straight but only gay for her. When she wasn't, it was the complete opposite.
Ooh.
But so like once they finally figured their shit out and finally like Evelyn, because you know back then if they were gay, their career was done. But she was at a time when she was 50, so she was like, I'm ready to give it all up. So once she told her that, Celia told her that she's dying of emphysema, because back then they smoked like chimneys, and she basically was dying of emphysema, and they only had like a decade left together. And so they moved to Spain, and like it was just and then Harry died in a drunk driving accident because the love of his life, John, died, and he got behind the wheel. And we found the plot twist was Monique, you know, the one that was interviewing her. Her dad was in the car with Harry, and her entire life thought that her dad was a drunk driver and got in an accident, when in fact Harry did it, and Evelyn covered it up by putting Monique's dad in the driver's side. So like Evelyn said from the get-go, like I'm not a good person. Like a lot of her childhood, like she was one of those people who was cutthroat, and like to get famous she did whatever it took. And that's what I loved about this book, was it was a very flawed character, and it was also like it was not what I expected going in. And it was just like I cried when Celia died because I'm like, you finally got your happy ending, and they only had like a decade left, and they got married, so technically it's the 8 marriages of Evelyn Hugo, but back then it wasn't legal, so they just like did it for like the symbolism of it. But it was just such a good book. And now I'm reading another book by the same author called Daisy Jones and the Six, which is the similar vibe, but instead it's a documentary about a band from the 70s. And I'll give you guys updates on it. But yeah, I was texting Luis like updates, because especially after I found out that it was actually a lesbian love story, I'm like, oh, No, I was not expecting that because when you see a title, "The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo," you don't expect that. But such a good book, and it's being turned into a movie by Netflix. And
Oh,
Anna Kendrick from Pitch Perfect is directing it. So I'm very excited. For once, I'm reading the book before the movie. This has never happened before, so I'm very excited.
when did the movie come out?
The script has been done for a while now. It's by the same writer of Little Fires Everywhere with Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington.
Ooh,
And Taylor Jenkins Reid, the author, is heavily involved in it. So
I
I
love
think it's going to
that.
be really good. Because I've actually seen Daisy Jones and the Six was adapted on Amazon 3 years ago with Riley Keough, Elvis's granddaughter. I watched the
Yeah.
show before the book. The show was fantastic. Suki Waterhouse is in it. She plays she plays Karen, the keyboardist. And it's such a good show, so I know I'm gonna love the book, but I can't wait for the movie because I think you're gonna love it, Luis. It's such a
A little,
good story.
yeah. And interesting fun fact about that is that in, well, I wouldn't say my birth year, but a year after, in 94 is when the law officially came into pass of it being illegal for husbands beating their wife. So
Yeah, which is
domestic
so
violence was
sad.
legal before then. Yeah.
Yeah, my Mima was a victim of that. Her husband, like, very disgusting things, very horrific and graphic. I found out about
Yeah.
all that way too young, but like it was so bad she got cancer from it, from an infection he caused.
Ooh,
But
yeah.
yeah, so and of course she was married to him in like the 50s and the 60s. So that back then, essay of a spouse and domestic violence was basically just not cared about. And yeah, so I can't wait for this movie to come out. I think it's going to be probably one of Netflix's best because of who's writing it, and like Taylor, the author, has said like she loves the script, and if an author loves the script, it's going to be good because there's been a few authors who like I hated that, like they hated
Mhm.
the adaptation of their own story, like Shadowhunters. Have you heard of that show? The author
Yeah.
hated the adaptation of the show on Freeform.
Yeah.
And I read the book in junior high. I loved the book, and hearing that, I'm like, okay, maybe I won't watch the show.
They said that too with Pretty Little Liars.
Oh yeah, I've said that. The books are way better.
Oh yeah,
But
you too.
but I just love the show because it's nostalgic,
Yeah, me
and
too.
like I know it's a mess. We get it. And there's so many plot holes and so many continuity errors because the writers didn't do what writers should have done and had a map of what they wanted the show to look like. Instead, they were just writing to write. Like they were writing as they went, and you can tell by watching that they were writing as they went. But yeah, so I think this is gonna be a really good adaptation. I read somewhere that if they have a director attached to it, that means they're close to filming. I heard Anna Kendrick completely kill. Like she did a fantastic job on that one Netflix movie about the game show killer that I still need to watch.
Yeah.
Women of the Hour. Woman of the Hour. I heard she did a fantastic job on that, and I love Anna Kendrick. Hopefully, she does a cameo in the movie because she did direct Woman of the Hour and starred in it. So maybe she'll be like, ooh, maybe she'll be Evelyn Hugo. No, Evelyn Hugo's a blonde, and like her looks matter. Like they have to cast what she looks
Yeah.
like. Like she was a Latina, by the way. Her name was Evelyn Herrera, and of course it was the 50s, so they whitewashed her.
Oh yeah.
But she was a Latina with like really bright blonde hair because they made her dye it. And
Yeah, she was Latina and they had Anna Kendrick play it. That would not
no, I'm saying maybe she could play
did
Celia.
well.
I think she could play Celia.
Yeah.
The love interest. Maybe like has Anna Kendrick played a queer character before?
I don't remember.
Her character in Pitch Perfect gave queer energy, but then she ended up with shit, I just watched those movies. What is his name in that film? Jesse. So yeah, but I'm very excited. I have high hopes. Usually I'm late where I read the book. So I watched Hunger Games and then read the book. So like I'm saying like this will be the first time I've really like read the book and then watched the adaptation. So it's gonna be really exciting. I can't wait. I got the book for a birthday gift because I wanted to read it for so long and my Lola bought it for me. But yeah. And that leads us into our final segment. Luis, what are you binging?
Shit. Well, we could definitely talk about Wizards because the
Yes.
4-part Wizards finale. I
That I
liked it.
watched in like an hour.
Yeah, me too. The Proud Family Louder and Prouder, which is also its final season. I just started watching Best Medicine. I'm loving it so far. I'm on episode 5.
I think I want to start it when season 2 comes out, so I can binge it and get ready for the second season.
Yeah, it has 13 episodes. It I believe it starts on September 20 something, 22nd. I don't know if it's because it's like on TV first, then on Hulu, because it's the Fox. So yeah, on the end of September. Um, Revenge, which I'm gonna toss the segue to you
Well, I'm
because even
not.
though I'm a
I've been scaling back on reacting to only music again because you pointed
oh
out something.
gee,
Like I want to focus on the podcast. And also, it's been fucking hot. I haven't filmed anything in days.
yeah,
It's so
that's
hot.
well,
But
well, um, I wanted to get your thoughts. What did you think of it when you started watching it?
well, I actually okay. I have childhood memories of seeing this show because my mom watched it. This is like right up her alley. This is the
Yeah.
type of show. Um,
Hmm.
Emily deserves her revenge. I'll just say that.
Yes. Yes.
Her dad got fucking like all these rich people just ganged up on this poor little man and framed him for such a horrific thing. Um,
Yeah.
and Victoria is probably one of my favorite female villains. Like,
Well, yeah.
I think she's a villain in my opinion. Like, I know she is remorseful for what she did, but she also didn't stop it. So,
So, one of the things that I wanted to tell because that I wanted to say, that because anyway, Victoria Grayson, Victoria Davis, Evelyn Powell. Actually, Victoria Grayson and Evelyn Powell fall in that similar category.
yeah.
I don't know how Ali Sheen does these ratings, but at least Victoria Grayson, when her kids are in trouble, they she comes through, like she's remorseful and she saves them and she cares for them. Victoria Davis, Brooke was stalked and almost killed twice. Where was Victoria Davis? And
I
don't get me
know.
wrong, I love Daphne, but
I love Daphne too.
but Victoria Davis, even when she had to change her heart, so to speak, she still didn't like.
I know
I don't
Xavier
know,
tried to
like
kill her daughter twice. She beat the fuck like her face, like it didn't even look like Brooke. Like she had a black eye. She was like a broken. It looked like a broken nose, but I don't think it was. But like she looked
how could
like
she not?
beat her bad. And like, where was her mom? Her mom almost
Exactly,
her mom almost ruined her business because they were lying. Remember her and Billy were lying about the like how much money they were making to the investors, and like so
exactly.
like yeah, it was bad.
And I believe she even victim blamed her
Yeah.
when she got beaten the first time by Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, but yeah, what do you think about it? So far,
Well, I love Emily. And
me
I've
too.
always loved Emily Van Camp because she plays Sharon Carter on the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And her and Daniel are married in real life, by the way. They have 2 kids, I think. You can tell their chemistry is on fire. I actually don't ship her and Daniel. I ship her and shit, what's
Jack.
his name? Jack.
Yeah, me
Um,
too.
because let's admit she's only after Daniel because it'll hurt Victoria.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and I love Declan. He's hot.
Yes, he is. Gossip Girl reference, but yeah.
Oh, not Declan. Nolan. Wrong.
Well, Nolan too, but yeah, Nolan.
Uh,
And yes,
I was just is he gay in real life? Because he played a gay character in Gossip Girl, and I know that doesn't mean anything. But I don't remember hearing about the brother being gay in the books. That's why I always wondered if he was gay in real life.
I'm wondering the same thing. But as for Nolan, forgive me, but he is bisexual.
Love that.
Yeah. And okay, because I left off on episode 14, season 2B, and I have to ask something. Like, you and I are fans of like soap opera dramas. Like that's clear because that's
And
like the
what he
heart and
means by
soul of this
that,
podcast.
he means prime time, which means it's not the
Yeah,
every day of the week. He means like
exactly.
Desperate Housewives, Nashville, Jane the Virgin, Pretty Little Liars, like those kind of soap operas.
And why is it that every rich person, like, I'm sorry, but why do I have a tender spot, but at the same time, like, I feel like they get what's coming to them. Like, I feel for you, but
Because they do.
they do. And the thing is, like, again, remember when we saw Declan's dad when he called him a loser before he passed, R.I.P. sort of.
I know.
why is it that, like, I could have told, and did you notice that there was this sketchy business? Like, why, this frustrates me about every soap opera. Why every sketch, and we've seen this on One Tree Hill. Why does it take, why is money so important they had to do sketchy businesses that involves a loan shark?
Oh yes, I remember that. Yeah, when they had that season 4 storyline with Nathan or Haley got hit by the car.
Yes!
Yeah. I don't know what the
Like,
thing is with gambling and loan sharks in these shows. It's like I think it's
mhm,
during that. I mean, gambling is still a thing, obviously Vegas, but during that time, it was huge for some reason.
yeah. Because Jack and Declan's dad, that's what he pretty much did. Let's be honest, like that's what he did. Like we knew, like from the pilot, the way he was acting before he died, the stuff he was like, there's just some, and that's the thing that bothered me. Is like, one, why lie to your kids? Two, why get your kids? Okay, if you're gonna lie to them, here's my thing. I don't like or agree with it, and a lot of my millennial parent friends agree. But if you're gonna do that, do not involve your kids in the lie. Don't have them
Exactly.
work for you. Because especially if you're involved with loan sharks, that you left that tail on your kids' heads, causing them to obviously say the things because like when Declan said that, I was like, I can see why he says that. I mean, he shouldn't have, but I understand where he's coming from because it is a little like frustrating. And like Victoria Conrad, I loved episode 4 of season 1. What did you think? You had, I remember you had audio issues, but what
I know
was
if you
your
watch that,
reaction?
you don't hear the audio to it.
What did you think of that therapist? What did you think of all of that?
That's what because I'm scaling back the amount of shows I'm doing. I'm not removing. I'm still doing Revenge. That's what I meant to say. But
Yeah.
in fact, I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow. I'm trying not to film on days that we record, just in case like I don't want to be in the middle of recording when we have to record. But um, when I heard Victoria say that she wishes that her daughter wasn't born, essentially, I'm like, holy shit. Like Emily is like she doesn't give a shit who gets hurt. Like, which I get why
Yeah.
though. Like, she
No,
has
I
the
do
right to be
too.
selfish because she had no childhood at all. Like,
Mm-mm.
she was institutionalized for nothing essentially. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm conflicted because of so far what I've seen of Victoria is like she does seem to care because she's held on to these things that Emily's dad gave her as gifts, but then she'll go as far as to like have Amanda at the time institutionalized for like what? Like because she feels guilty? Like, come on. I don't know. So, and then the last one I watched, Lydia Davis was killed by getting pushed over the terrace on her apartment. I'm like, damn, that kind of gave me How to Get It with Murder vibes because there was also a character on that show
Yes.
named Frank who basically killed for Viola Davis. Like he killed like 4 or 5 people for her, and I'm like, oh my god, what is with Franks on these shows who are like the henchmen of these main characters who is willing to kill for them? I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god, I cannot get over your reaction in the pilot when how Victoria found out about the affair when she's like when Emily comes in innocently and is like, "Oh Lydia, is that I remember
Oh
I saw you.
yes,
How's your
how's your
husband doing?"
husband?
I loved that. Like,
I think I said tea or something, right?
yes, like you said, "Ooh, that is some tea," and I was like, "That is some tea." That is what we love about these primetime soap opera, like that, and sitcoms too. Let's not act.
And that's funny
Sitcoms do
because
that.
our phones are weird with this. Once you like start watching something, your feed kind of gets the clips or whatever. I had seen it wasn't spoilers or anything, but I had seen someone talk about how underrated Revenge is, and like this is one of
It
Alex Cooper's
is.
favorite shows. I don't know if you know that Revenge. She's seen it multiple times, but
Who?
I had this is one of Alex Cooper's favorite shows. Like she said that she's
Oh
seen it like
right.
multiple times.
Yeah.
But I had seen a reel not too long ago, and I should have sent it to you, but you hadn't watched it. You hadn't started the show yet, where they were like, "This show is so underrated. Like Emily and Victoria's chemistry and banter is so iconic. Um, like those actresses, like especially Victoria, like the shit that like the way Victoria, like she does actually remind me of Evelyn Powell, where she's like
She
that
does.
cold-hearted rich bitch,
Yeah.
and like someone that I watch that does reactions, like it's that one I told you where I read reactions where I request a Superstore. someone requested
Yeah.
Devious Mates this month, and I was watching her reactions because, of course, I've seen the show. And I forgot when Flora died, Evelyn's like, who's going to clean my house? And I'm like, that's all you care about? Your maid was just murdered.
Yeah. And then she's like, no, and then she tried to cover it up.
Yeah, and then she was judging Genevieve or someone. She's like, or she was like whining that like Flora's dead and like my house is a mess. And I'm like, oh my God, girl, get your priorities in line. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I get why she was like that because, you know, she was having an affair with her husband. But that was cold.
I mean, they're literally the definition of WHITE privilege.
Wasp. Is that what that is? Yeah, white Angelo Sac. Yeah, the white, the really white rich people. Yeah.
Yes.
But that was hilarious. And I forgot how, like, I love Rebecca Wasaki. She's currently on a CBS sitcom right now called Ghosts. And her character on that is hilarious as well. But
she was also on Wednesday, by the way.
Yes. Talk about queen of the guest spot. She's been on CSI, NCIS, 911, Criminal Minds, SVU, probably every single cop show ever made. Like, I've seen Rebecca on literally every show probably I've ever watched. Like, she is the queen of a guest spot.
Yeah.
But I think that's what the term character actor comes from, right? Where they're like notorious for being on all these guest spots.
Yes. And like, playing different characters. Yes.
Yeah, like one of my favorite guest spots that she was in is the 911 episode where her and her son are on their way to his therapist because she's in like a divorce and they get stuck in an elevator. Which talk about nightmare. But yeah, so yeah, I love Rebecca Wasaki, and she played that character pretty well. Like, you loved it to hate her. She was hilarious.
Yes.
So I am currently binging a few things actually.
Speaking of NCIS,
I'm binging NCIS and NCIS Los Angeles. I've decided to put NCIS LA on hold because I'm getting really. I told you this in the audio earlier. I'm getting pretty bad at alternating. Like, I just want to focus on so I'm doing All American again as well, and I'm gonna wait until after I finish All American to do Homecoming because I looked it up. I'm like, is the plot essential? Like, do I have to watch it? And they're like, no, you can watch all of All American.
Yeah.
All American Homecoming because because where I'm at, Jordan and Simone are still dating, and I'm like, are they going to break up on Homecoming, or are they going to break up on All American? Like, I don't want to feel confused, but I'll get confused if I do. But so right now,
yeah, from what I read, they're doing what they did with Grownish and Blackish,
where it's like same universe, but not like you have to watch one or the other.
Yeah,
and that's basically the same with NCIS and NCIS LA. Like, it wasn't really connected, but I did want to watch because it's so long. That's why I watched it together, because like. First of all, the original NCIS is 23 seasons, and it's still on. I want to get caught up because October 6th, the show comes back. And I have enough time, I think, 2 months. But then NCIS LA is 14 seasons, and I'm already on season 3, so I might probably still watch them together. I haven't decided yet, but because they're getting a new spinoff, NCIS New York, which is one of the characters from LA is going to be on this. And also Shane Harper, who played Teddy's cheating boyfriend on Good Luck Charlie, he's going to be on NCIS New York. So he's going to be playing an NCIS agent. I'm curious how. I can't picture him playing a law enforcement agent, so we'll see.
I can picture him being a law enforcement agent or like a serial killer type of, because that's the vibe that like Spencer or Shane Harper gave me. But I mean Shane Harper in general. Like if you were to play, like I don't know, like a villain, like if they were to cast him somewhere else, he would play like some kind of a not a loudmouth villain, but like a very like, what do you call it? Like a villain that's like very like mysterious and quiet, like
sort of formidable. Formidable is harder to defeat. I don't know, but I get what you're trying to say. But I'm curious to see how he's gonna play being an NCIS agent, because I don't know, because I mean, not that they have to be a certain archetype, because there are some people who like LL Cool J. He's a rapper. He's an NCIS agent on LA, and he's actually one of my favorite characters. Because like rappers who are actors sometimes are hit or miss. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, they're just like Snoop Dogg, for instance. He plays characters, but it's basically just playing Snoop Dogg. But LL Cool J is actually a really good actor, and he's like one of my favorite characters on NCIS LA because he gets really emotionally involved in his cases, and I'm actually really excited because he's the one that's going to be the star of NCIS New York. So Jennifer Beals is going to be in it as well. Do you know who that is? She was on The L Word. She's going to be playing LL Cool J's boss. So I'm excited for that. Yes, the director of NCIS New York. So I'm very excited for that. There's actually a few, and then Scott Caan, who I know from Hawaii Five-0 reboot, is also going to be on this. So there's a few people that I've seen in other things that'll be on this as well. And then I'm also watching All American. I only watched one episode. I watched season 4, episode 11. JoJo is on. She's a recurring character this season. She plays.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I didn't realize that was her. To be honest, I think the only thing I've seen her in was RV with Robin Williams. No, I have not seen Aquamarine. I know that was like a millennial movie back in the day. I might have to watch it now because I don't know if you heard they're making an Aquamarine TV show with Emma Roberts coming back as an executive producer.
Yeah.
But I had to look it up because I don't know what JoJo looks like, and I'm like, oh, this is JoJo. Because I don't look at the credits when I watch shows, but she plays this singer that like wants to work with Layla as a producer, and she's like, as I sent you that clip, she's like trying to get Layla out of her shell, like because Layla's playing it too safe, and she's trying to be like the perfect producer, and like she wants her to get out of her shell and like aim for the stars when it comes to producing and stuff. And I'm like, I know Layla has it because Layla is amazing. So, and then Coop, as always, I'm getting kind of tired of like Coop always being in trouble at this point. We're 4 seasons in. So if you remember I told you Preach shot and killed Coop, or Mo to protect Coop.
Yeah.
Well, Mo being her stupid self, Coop, I do love Coop, but I just hate how she's always in trouble. So Coop, being who she is, lied and said she shot Mo because Preach only needs one more strike to go back to jail, which I get the sentiment. But the last episode I watched, the police were knocking on. Okay, so what I love this season is all the girls are living at the Baker house and all the boys are living in a beach house. So Patience, Coop, Layla, and Olivia are all living together. So in the episode I just watched, the police were knocking on the door. Coop's out of town with her dad, and they were looking for Patience, they were looking for Coop, but they knew that they all lived together.
Did you say Coop's out of town with her dad?
Yeah, because they're trying to do a bonding moment because it's been the first time they've spent time since Coop got shot. Coop's not a rapper anymore. She can't. She had permanent lung damage from the shooting. And obviously you need lung density to be able to rap and sing because you can hold, you need good breath control and stuff. But so that's coming to bite her in the ass. But I mean, to be fair, she did it to cover for a friend. I get that. But like, I have a feeling Patience is going to dump Coop soon because
I don't blame her.
Patience even said, like, I'm tired of you always getting yourself in trouble. First it was the gang, and then it was Mo, and then now it's covering for Preach. Like, you're getting, like, timeline-wise, it's only been 2 years. So, like, in the 2 years that we've known Coop, she's been getting into trouble nonstop. And, like, it's getting a little repetitive. Not in a way that'll make me want to stop the show. I love the show. But, like, I want better for Coop. I believe in her. But she's a savior. And her, Olivia, and Spencer need to just focus on themselves and stop worrying about everybody else sometimes because it gets them in trouble.
Yeah. She reminds me of Kelly and Mariana from Good Trouble in the Fosters.
Yes, well, specifically Callie.
Yeah.
Which I love that about Callie. I feel like the pimp thing was my last straw with her though, and it was obviously Steph's last straw with her as well. Because she was like, Callie, this is like, how many times are you gonna do this before you end up in a body bag? Like,
yes,
you were basically taken hostage by a fucking pimp who had a gun. Like, come on, like I don't know. And I love how Callie, like the character arc for Callie was probably one of my favorites of any show I've watched in a long time. Where she went from this girl who we met her in juvie to being like a lawyer and having her shit together, and like. It just shows how your circumstance can define you, but at the same time, you can grow from it and learn how to overcome it. So,
for me, the last straw was when she kept breaking, and like with to help.
Oh yeah, she broke into that guy's house to toothbrush.
And then like she was. I didn't get it. She was trying to look for Mariana, but like at the festival thing, but it's like she ended in juvie again for trying to commit or not commit, but like help someone that really had nothing to do with what she was like. It had nothing to do with. Like, it was irrelevant to her at this point.
And
Like,
to be honest, that's my problem with season 4 is what was that
yeah,
storyline
me
to begin
too.
with? What was that storyline?
Exactly. Like, okay, if they were
Um,
trying to say, "Oh, she's being just a teenager," no, like that's even for season 4, even for Callie or for any
like
teenager,
I
that's
love the
very
Fosters, but season 4 was a hit or miss for me. Season 5 was perfect.
ew.
I loved season 5
Yeah,
with the ice stuff that sadly is still
I
relevant to this day and all that.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Season 4 and 5 were like, because it was also a drag. Because besides the ice stuff, they should have just ended there. I'm sorry, but like after ice, like they should have just stopped at
Well, to be
like
honest, the show was supposed to get
15.
us. The show was supposed to get us season 6, and it was going to be what Good Trouble ended up being. So I'm curious what
Thank
that would have
God.
looked like as
I'm glad.
no, because I don't know.
I'm
I love
glad
the
it
Fosters.
just. Yeah, me too. I'm glad it turned into Good Trouble when it did because
Oh, I am
like
too.
like I said, yeah, it lingered a lot because like okay, what was giving Kelly an art story arc? Like the writers right there, what were they thinking? Because I get her senior project was like an art
I know
thing
it's kind of
representing her
how it
life.
is. How it is for Olivia Baker, where from the get go you could
Yeah,
tell she's either going to be a social worker or a lawyer. That's the same for Callie for me. Where did they come up with this art
yeah,
storyline when it's clear she's going to either be a social worker, a lawyer, or even a cop like Steph? I never got
yeah,
how that because she was always like helping others. That's why I'm saying like even a cop would have made sense for her. So
yeah.
where would an art thing make sense? I don't get it.
Exactly. That's why I said like they should have just stopped at season 13 or like just deleted the entire art thing and just like after the because like after the ice thing, she still went back to the art thing. So that was like that's just a waste. Just
No, she didn't.
why
After Ice is when she wanted to become a lawyer. Remember, like because it was no, she did the art
yeah,
thing
but that was
before. So season 5A was the art thing.
yeah,
Once she helped with that protest where Jimena supposedly was violent, and then they helped hide her in the church with sanctuary. After that is when she leaned
yeah.
into the law thing. But again,
Yeah,
I'm
but
like
she was still like
season 5A
the
was
college.
basically
Yeah.
yeah.
Because the she didn't officially like submit herself to the lawyer thing until like episode 18 of season 5. Like she
Which
was still going for art.
I want to hear something crazy,
Um,
and I kind of wish
what?
I made Pam Fields and Wayne Fields were in that season together. Pam played Grace's mom, and
Yeah,
Wayne Fields was the teacher she was trying to get into law school. He was the person in charge of the program. And I'm like,
yeah,
wow, both of Emily's parents in the same season of PLL or the Fosters. I love that.
yeah. They did. Disney tends to do that. Like with like they already have. If they want a parent or an extra character to fill in, they'll just grab one from another show to make it reappearing.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I love Good Trouble. The only problem is like we talked about this many times is the pacing of it. But other than
Yeah,
that, I Good Trouble is a perfect show. I feel like the farm story went a little too long, but other than that,
yeah.
I love the show, and I feel like I would probably rewatch it over The Fosters, maybe, because I relate more to those characters obviously now because I'm in that age bracket.
Yeah, see, yeah, me, I would want. I don't know, honestly.
Would you
I
watch
think
Good
I would.
Trouble over rewatching The Fosters?
That's a good question.
Because I miss
Um,
Alice and I miss Davia and I miss Malika
uh,
and like even Kelly, the one that said all the random shit.
I would have to. I would have to literally do it the spin the wheel thing because I
True.
would right now say both
Well, I
because
would probably choose.
each.
I am like that, but
Yeah,
if I had
because
to choose, I would rewatch Good Trouble.
the only reason why I would choose like the Fosters over Good Trouble for nostalgia reasons, I feel
Yeah,
like
obviously, me too.
there's a comforting of
And I
it
also remember
that
moments of what I was doing when episodes aired too. So like,
yeah.
there's that factor as well.
Yeah, and the thing is like everybody in my my mom, my sister, we like there's something about a family element of the Fosters that you didn't get with Good Trouble for obvious
Yeah, because the
reasons.
Good Trouble was a found family type thing.
Yeah, and the thing is
Well, technically, so was the
um
Fosters.
yeah, but the thing is with Good Trouble and the Fosters, there's a tone that's because the
Yes.
thing is Good Trouble was more political. It started getting more and
which
more
I loved.
political.
Well, technically, it made sense because towards the end of the Fosters, it got political as well.
Yeah.
So
But see, that's why like the Fosters, I was like, because it got political. But see, it's hard. This is why I would say both. Okay, for the
yeah,
Fosters, because of the family thing, it's just like the stories they would tell, and like, believe it or not, like being in the blind community, this is going to sound like an extreme comparison, but or at the very least, yeah, being in the blind community is relatable in a sense because you kind of go to the same trials and tribulations, and
as a foster
there's just
kid.
a yeah, you feel like a foster kid, especially when you go to a place like CSB or OCB. Well, at least CSB, because you have to deal with ignorant counselors and teachers that, again, they like we were talking about with the lawsuit. They don't see you as a human being. They just like see you as a cash grab or just another lowly speck of dust. Like their decisions they make, they don't think about you. Like you don't have a
Yeah.
saying and you have grown-ups like judging you and ridiculing you for no reason. Mm.
Hmm.
And like when it comes to judges, because sometimes you have to go to court because your district is not complying with the laws they're supposed to make, like when providing your accommodations, they'll make the decisions based on what's good for the school, not what's best for you.
Yeah.
And like Girls United, the way they structured it, that's the way CSB was structured.
I have a
So
feeling a
again,
lot of why they phased out Rosie was because of her political things, but I missed her
I did too.
in the later seasons, especially when it came to
Well,
Callie's progress. I really missed Ria.
yeah, me too. Well, after the little incident on The View, that's when she just like left altogether because she was her teen. I guess her teenager or kid like ran away for 3 months, and that was during all like
Oh
her being on
yes,
The
because
View and on The
she's in prison
Fosters.
now. She's
Yeah,
in prison now. She like her character on The Fosters, her daughter in that show was very similar to her real life daughter. So I think that's probably why it felt so real when we watched it.
yeah, I did. Yeah,
She also had some drug addiction issues, and she's currently in jail now. I've sent you so many clips. I don't know if you've watched them all, but her talking about how it's been, like talking to her daughter on, over the phone from
yeah,
prison. But I love Rosie, and I'm glad she's also having a
I
resurgence
do
as well
too.
because she deserves it. I do get a lot of like, she did come off as problematic. Do I think she actually is? No, but I do think a lot of what was
No,
going on in her personal life affected her, and she wasn't really good at separating that, and it kind of seeped into her work.
yeah.
But
And the thing with
everyone,
TV alone is pretty frustrating because why? Because it's a cop out. Like I'm on a show where I'm supposed to speak my mind. I speak my mind and I get shut down.
many times.
Yeah.
It's also because her and Whoopi did not get along, so that
Yeah.
didn't help
Well,
either.
because both of them have really strong personalities.
Which,
That's
by the way, Whoopi was on Baby It's Kiki Palmer. I need to watch that episode. I've seen so many
I
clips.
do too.
Um,
Actually, that's actually the last straw. So apparently, I don't know how this did not make it on Twitter. But during the commercial break, when one of their fights, I think it was the Cosby allegations, and because Whoopi was friends with Bill Cosby, that starts one. Anyway, what happened is that Whoopi shut down the conversation. Rosie didn't like it. Rosie grabbed one of her mic, ran across the stage, and shouted, "Whoopi is the most difficult and meanest person I ever met." And as she like ran on and
I know
on
you
the
told me she
stage,
fell.
yeah, she fell off the stage, and I don't know how that didn't get on. It got so bad that an assistant had to give her a one of her pills because she was missing taking them.
And
Because I
she
think she
didn't. She
thought
have
it was
a didn't.
bipolar.
No, Rosie had a heart attack right before she came back.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah, she did. But didn't? But did it? Isn't Rosie also battling bipolar or something?
I don't think so. I can look that up.
I think I read it in the book. Yeah, that her mental health was very is part of the reason why things happen
But
the
you know
way
what she's been talking about lately, and I'm here for it.
what
Her returning to daytime in her own show, like the a la Rosie O'Donnell show. But she said she's not gonna do she wants to do human interest stories, kind of like a Ricky Lake or like the old school Oprah, where she talks to real people. And like she says, if a celebrity wants to come on, then yes, but they're not going to come on just because they need to promote something. They'll come on like as an actual guest where they're going to play games and just talk. And I'm like, I'm here for that. Obviously, she said it'll be probably be on like streaming or something, but here's the catch:
I was gonna,
not going to
yeah.
be until we get a new president.
Oh yeah,
That's what she said.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. That I think that if she's gonna do that, I feel like she's probably gonna do it in podcast form. There's no way she's gonna do network television. Like,
No, she said it's going to be streaming or a podcast.
yeah, no, yeah, it is gonna be most likely a podcast because I mean, hell, that's what we're doing this podcast because like she no like because usually TV shows when you have a show like that and it's on television, they're gonna want you to have a guest that promotes something. Like usually, I don't know how Kelly was able to do all of that
She has
without her
sad.
getting.
She has
She says
seasonal
what?
affective. She does not have bipolar, but she has major depressive disorder,
Yes.
seasonal affective disorder, and PTSD.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It says she famously discussed how her clinical depression intensified following the 1999 Columbine High School massacre, which I think about that shooting all the time because of I don't know. Noting that the medication and therapy ultimately saved her life, while she did play a character with severe bipolar on Smilf. Oh, I've heard of that. That was a fictional role rather. Okay, that's where that probably came from. I don't know. Yeah, I would love to see her return to daytime. We'll see if that happens because
Yeah.
Kathy Griffin has her own talk show and I watch it. So she does it
Wait,
every Tuesday. She does it every
but it's
Tuesday
a
on.
pod.
No, it's not a podcast. It's a YouTube show.
Well, it's still a lot of YouTube shows are podcast. But okay, no, that's good because the thing is, when it's a
It's
YouTube
called Talk Your Head
show,
Off.
oh, that's what that is.
Get it?
Yeah,
Talk
no.
your head off. The photo.
Oh yeah, I get it. Oh no, I get yeah because like TV is just so like done like daytime television, like TV talk with television is just like it's not as authentic. You know, it's never been really that authentic as it is when you do like a YouTube show or a podcast like this one. Like
Yeah.
it's always so manufactured and you even though the real, which was the exception to that, you were able to speak your mind. Even the ladies were like, "There's a lot of stuff we couldn't say on there."
Which is why Amanda Seals left the show.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that's everything. We've been recording for a while now. I did not realize that. This is the first time recording in like a week. So, we had a lot of catching up to do. But
we did.
is there anything else you want to cover before we sign off?
No, other than follow us on both of our Patreons.
Yes, Luis started a Patreon as like a spinoff of this. So also it's not going to just be for plot twists, but I will link it down below. Both my Patreon, his Patreon, the show's Instagram, and yeah. Do you want me to link your Instagram in the description as well?
Oh yeah, you could.
And then I'll link mine as well on my personal one. I only post about like music and stuff on there, so
Same
yeah.
here.
But and that's everything. We will see you guys next episode where we're going to do a recap of Camp Rock 3. We're also going to talk about our favorite movies. We kind of brushed on it here, but like I want to talk about like I'm going to write a list. I think I'll do top 25 because there's no way in hell I can do a top 10 just because
Yeah.
like I'm going to talk about, and what I mean by favorite movies, we're going to do childhood favorite movies, like movies that we watched a lot as kids or, as teenagers and stuff, because there's a lot of movies that like I want to talk about because like I was obsessed with like The Wizard of Oz when I was a kid. Like there's just so many. Well, speaking of actors that weren't treated properly, Judy Garland was treated like shit back in the day. She was like the first Britney Spears, I think.
Yeah.
Like she was forced to take like she was forced to do that black coffee diet where they smoke like 3 packs of cigarettes a day. She was on uppers and downers. She was on coffee, like she's forced to drink black coffee. Like she was not treated properly. Yeah, being an actor for MGM was hell on earth back then.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's everything. We hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Spotify, don't forget to leave a comment down below. And yeah, this was another episode of Plot Twist. I'm your host, Danny Thomas.
And I'm your co-host, Luis Castillo.
And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.